If you've been wondering exactly what you need to open up a bank account, then this video is for you. My name is Nicole and I'm from The Simple Dollar. If you have not yet heard of The Simple Dollar, first off, welcome. And also be sure to check out the thousands of amazing resources that we have to help you on your financial journey. I'll definitely be sure to link a bunch of stuff in the description so that you can check us out. Now let's get into how to open up this account. To get started, you'll first want to know whether or not you are actually eligible to open up a bank account. In most cases, you'll need to be at least 18 years of age and have a social security number. If you're between the ages of 14 and 17, in most instances, you will need the help of a parent or guardian in order to open up a bank account. A common question that we get about bank accounts is how much money do I need in order to open one? The great news is that most banks don't require a bunch of money in order to open up a bank account. And most online banks don't even have a minimum initial deposit. And if you're considering opening a bank account at a credit union, they normally require as little as $5 to open that account. The bottom line here is that you'll want to ask whatever bank or institution that you're hoping to bank with what their minimum requirements are to open that account. The reason why you'll want to ask this information up front and know what you're getting yourself into is because some banks or institutions do charge a fee if your account balance falls below a minimum amount. I don't know about you, but I don't like paying unnecessary fees, so I'm always on the lookout for accounts that do not have a minimum balance to maintain, and I'm also on the lookout for banks that don't have a ton of fees. The next question that we often get is, what type of bank account should I open? If you find yourself wondering and trying to figure out what type of account you'll want to open, the first thing that you'll want to consider is, what will you be using the account for? It makes a huge difference when making the decision of what type to open. The most common account type that people consider is a checking account. Checking accounts are generally used for everyday spending. It's also the account that you'll use to pay most of your bills. You can also order checks to pay bills or request a debit card that links to the account to use for your purchases. Most checking accounts also offer online bill pay, so you can create recurring payments or schedule bill payments. Also, with most checking accounts, you'll be able to set up direct deposit, which is where your employer sends your paycheck directly into your account without having to give you a physical paper check. And most times, direct deposit is a totally free benefit that you'll be able to sign up for when you sign up for the bank account itself. Some banks, not all, will offer a nominal interest rate on your balance. The current national rate for an interest checking account under $100,000 is 0.06% APY. The second type of bank account that you might consider opening is a savings account. If you're interested in putting away some money for your future or money for a short-term savings goal, and you are also wanting to get a little bit of interest as well while you save, then a savings account is the way to go. Another benefit of the savings account is that the money is not as easy to spend. If you're working towards saving for something big, a car purchase or something down the line, then you don't want it to be easy to spend or to dip into that money that you work so hard to save. Federal law actually limits the amount of times that you can withdraw from a savings account, and that is typically 6 withdrawals within a statement period. The current national average rate for savings accounts under $100,000 is 0.09% APY. A third banking option is the money market account. Money market accounts are very similar to savings accounts, but you have the additional benefit of earning a little bit more money in interest. Money market accounts can also come along with some of the similar benefits of a checking account. For example, you may receive check writing abilities, and you may also get a debit card or a ATM card that you can use to withdraw money if you need to. But keep in mind that you will also still be restricted to the 6 withdrawals per month like you would with a savings account. The current national average rate for a money market account under $100,000 is 0.19% APY. And then a fourth type of account that you might consider opening is a certificate of deposit, also known as a CD. If you have saved a lump sum amount of money and maybe you don't need it for the next 6 to 8 months to pay a bill or for a potential emergency, then a CD might be a great option for you. Of the accounts that we have discussed so far up until this point, the certificate of deposit is the one that is most likely to have the highest interest rate. When it comes down to interest, you'll likely earn more with your certificate of deposit compared to the checking account or savings account or money market account, because with the CD, you are not able to touch the money that you placed in the CD for a fixed period of time. The current national average rate for a certificate of deposit varies. 0.20% APY for 3 months, 0.38% APY for 6 months, 0.54% APY for 12 months, and 1.06% for 60 months. Another question that you might be asking yourself is, how do I choose the right bank? You have the choice of going with a traditional brick and mortar bank that may be located near your house, or you can choose from the many different online options that are available as well. When choosing a bank, you'll want to compare a few side by side before deciding the right one for you. Regardless of whether you opt for a traditional brick and mortar bank or an online bank, here are some things that you might want to look for. First up are banking fees. You'll want to find out exactly how much it will cost you to open up the bank account. Even if a bank is not charging you a fee to open up the account, you also have to take into consideration things like maintenance fees, overdraft charges, and ATM fees as well. During your search, you may also want to consider credit unions. Credit unions offer competitive interest rates and affordable banking services because they are not for profit. Most credit union banks only accept members from certain professions or from colleges, maybe federal workers, or people that live in a specific geographic area. If you're looking for a credit union in your area, the National Association of Credit Unions provides a credit union finder, and you can find that linked in the description box of the video. The next feature that you'll want to look for is digital access. You'll want to know if the bank has a smartphone app and online services that you'll be able to access anywhere, wherever you are, even if you're away traveling. The next factor to consider is location. When opening up an account at a local brick and mortar bank, you might want to occasionally go in and ask a question, so geography may be important to you. You'll want to know, are there locations near your house? But if you're considering an online bank only, it's very important to find out, are there local ATMs that you'll be able to access when you want to withdraw some money? Also, with the online account, it'll be important to figure out how you're going to make deposits, and also how do you talk to somebody from customer service if you have a concern or question. And then finally, during your search, you'll want to ask, what other services does the bank offer? You never know, somewhere in the future, you might be looking for a mortgage loan or a car loan, or be looking to invest your money, and you'll want to know what your options are. Now let's talk about the specifics of what you will need to open up your bank account. Regardless of the type of account that you want to open, it will be necessary to complete an application. You may also be asked to complete a signature card in person or online so that the bank can verify that it's you when it's time to do some transactions. To open a checking account or any other type of bank account, you will need the following: a government issued photo ID like a driver's license, state issued ID, or passport. Some banks require 2 IDs. A birth certificate, social security card, or a credit card in your name could also serve as a second form of identification. You'll also be asked to provide your date of birth. You'll also need the funds that are required for your opening minimum balance. Depending on how much your bank requires, be prepared to write a check or hand over cash so that you can fund your account. Checking and savings accounts don't normally require more than $25 to open one. In addition, a physical address is also required. Although you can provide a mailing address, a street address is required by federal law. Last but not least, you will need a social security number or a taxpayer identification number. When opening a checking account, be sure to ask for a debit card. Checks are optional and can be ordered for a fee with online bill pay and a debit card, but you might be able to actually skip ordering checks. You might want to also inquire if you are able to open up a credit card if you have good credit. And don't forget to ask for a direct deposit form so that you can take it to your employer and be able to get your paycheck deposited directly into your new account. If you're looking to open up a savings account as well, all of the same items are going to be required. But make sure that you don't forget that savings accounts are limited to 6 withdrawals per month per the Federal Reserve. Having both a savings account and a checking account is helpful because you'll be able to link the 2 accounts and be able to transfer between the 2 very easily. This makes automating your savings a no-brainer. Now that you know what your options are, you might have decided to open up the money market account. But with money market accounts, there are sometimes higher initial opening balances required before you can open the account. And if you decided to open up the CD, just remember that it's hands off that money until the time that that CD matures. It's great to take advantage of the higher interest rate that comes along with a CD, but just make sure that you have a backup plan for an emergency if one comes up before those funds mature. Withdrawing money from a CD before the term is up can result in penalties. I hope that you have thoroughly enjoyed this video and received the answers to all of the questions that you came here to get answered. On your way out, don't forget to hit the like button. Also, click that subscribe button and come back for more great videos. Thanks so much for watching the Simple Dollar YouTube channel. We'll catch you in the next one.
Mm-hmm.